What up guys, how's everyone doing out there today? Before I start the video, I just want to say massive shout out to everyone that has subscribed. We've hit over 500 subscribers now. My goal was to hit that before the end of May, before May hit. We've hit that 17 days early almost. So massive thank you to everyone that has subscribed, that has supported the channel recently. I do really appreciate it. And between the lockdown, the quarantine, the COVID-19, trying to stay on top of my life outside of YouTube, I'm trying to get videos out for you as quickly as possible, so I'm sorry if there's a day or two where you don't get one. I'm just trying to work through things. But anyway, today, as the video title gives away, I wanted to talk about what I think Mortal Kombat can learn from Tekken and what Mortal Kombat can build on from Tekken. And this is a little video series that I want to do for Mortal Kombat as it pertains to other fighting games. Now, this isn't me saying that I want Mortal Kombat to become Tekken or other fighting games. It's just, what do I think Mortal Kombat can learn from Tekken? And Mortal Kombat has one thing that is very similar to Tekken, and I think some people may forget, and that is the strings. And what I mean by that is, so Tekken has the same strings as Mortal Kombat in the sense that it's style a combo. You have a set of moves, say for example Fakurum's 1-1, Baraka's 1-1. You know, it's not like Street Fighter where you've got light punch, heavy punch, medium punch, whatever, and you sort of link them together. You've got dialer combos in these games. Now the big difference between Mortal Kombat and Tekken is that although Mortal Kombats are designed in a dialer combo way, the same as Tekken's, they don't exactly function the way Tekken's do. And the only thing that makes them not function as Tekken's do is Tekken's, whether it's on hit or on block, they don't really push the advantage too much. So I'll give you an example. When you hit someone in Tekken, there's not like every single move in the game is not going to convert into the same combo. You have some moves that will launch and they'll start a combo, and you have moves that will punish other moves. So for example, you've got 10 frame punishes, which are basically jab punishes. If I'm getting that correctly, I'm really not good at frame data, so excuse me if I'm getting it wrong. But basically those kind of moves, they can't be launched, so you can't just throw out a launcher and convert off a jab, for example, into max damage. I'm sure there are some characters that can do it, but as a system as a whole, Tekken as a whole, you have your jab punishes, and you have different buttons for different punishes. With Mortal Kombat, everything sort of does the same thing, so the minute you make a mistake, the mistake you've made, as long as it's punishable, you're going to eat a combo basically. It's always the same combo, everything sort of does the same amount of damage, they convert into the same looking combo, whereas there's a variety in Tekken. Now the reason that I think Mortal Kombat can learn from this is a lot of people say that Mortal Kombat becomes quite stale, specifically Mortal Kombat 11. To be honest with you, my memory of MKX is becoming more and more hazy, so I can't really comment on it, and my memory on MK9 is completely gone. If I didn't watch Rio's videos, I wouldn't remember much of it anymore. But every button you press in Mortal Kombat sort of does the same thing, and it's kind of lame. So one way I think they could change the strings in MK11 is, I think strings should have a specific purpose. I don't think, for example, Baraka's forward, his 2, is it his 2? No, it's forward 2-1-2. I don't think the 2-1 should be able to convert into the grab that launches for a combo, because 1-1 already serves that purpose, and back 3 serves that purpose as well. I feel like strings should have a specific purpose. You should have one string where someone goofs big time. Now for example, you have down 2s in Mortal Kombat. Down 2s can grant you massive damage if they hit a crushing blow. They're invincible to highs, but when you block them, and it's not a flawless block, they're relatively safe. I am of the opinion that down 2 should be more unsafe on blocks, so people are not just spamming it. You get a lot of Jade players, they rely on that button because she has so much range, and they wouldn't rely on it as much if it wasn't so safe. And then that could be your big punish button, that could be your big launcher, for example. But with Mortal Kombat, everything does the same thing, and I think this gets overlooked quite a bit. You know, you can't convert the same combo in Tekken for everything. You got to make adjustments here and there. Actually, quite a few adjustments. In Tekken, most characters have over 90 attacks, so every situation you're in is going to be kind of different. and you're going to be looking to punish and open up your opponents in different ways. So I think if one thing that Mortal Kombat can take away from Tekken is they could readjust their strings so that each string has an intended purpose and they're not just all the same thing. Because what happens in Mortal Kombat is that a lot of things are plus, and you have this whole strike throw problem, and people just end up pressing buttons on block with very little consequence. So if they had an intended purpose, then I feel like the strings would have a bit more depth to them rather than it just converting to the same combo over and over and over again, because it is really just the same combo over and over and over again. And it's dialer combo like Tekken, it's just that Mortal Kombats are very, streamlined. Everyone can do the hardest combos in this game. I think there's a couple combos here and there that are a little tricky, but more often than not, there's not much room for creativity. I've recently picked up Fakuram, as you'll see in some of the videos, and I am just figuring him out, you know, like I'm playing him the way I want to play him. I've looked at a few combo videos, I've made some adjustments to what I feel more comfortable with, but you can't really do that in Mortal Kombat. All the combos sort of do the same thing. And you know, it comes down to them watering the combo system down from MKX. I don't feel like they needed to water down the creativity. I feel like they missed the point of what people were asking for. Maybe people were asking for ridiculous things and NRS got confused. I don't know, I don't remember, but this seems like an easy fix. The other thing is that Mortal Kombat and Tekken have dialer combo strings, right? And on block, in Tekken, if you complete a string, you're either jab punishable or launch punishable. It's very rare that you have a string that is completely safe and allows you to continue pressure. I'm not saying that doesn't happen in Tekken, that 100% happens. There is often a counter to that though. You can either sidestep them, they're either duckable. People have a lot of counters in Tekken, so there's normally a way around it. In Mortal Kombat, sometimes you just gotta hold that, which is kind of a lame thing, you know. If there's a way around something, it's great because that means you've got something to work towards to beat this opponent from spamming on you. But if there isn't and you just gotta kind of hold the L, it's like, okay, what are we doing? What are we really doing here? For example, Aaron Black's Scud Shot. The string that comes before it, I can't remember the notation, but you all know which one I'm talking about. That string is just like, come on guys, what are we doing? It's got a mix up in it with the slide. And then you've got to guess if he's going to shoot the gun afterwards or not, and your reactions have got to be on point. I mean, I even heard, I think it was Sonic Fox saying he messes up the timing on that. Or no, Video Games Joe was saying that not even he can get the timing down because you're completely at Aaron Black's mercy. In Tekken, like I said, if they go for a big boy string, then more often than not they're unsafe afterwards, and it's the next person's turn. And another thing is even on hit, so you can do a down one in Tekken, and you can push the advantage, but the other player is not hindered as much. They can also push the advantage. You can't just start spamming buttons on them. In Mortal Kombat, you are again at the attacker's mercy. You kind of just have to hold it, and you really have to guess, and any guess basically leads into ridiculous damage and a bad place to be on the screen. I just feel like there needs to be a bit, like basically what I'm getting at is the strings need to be toned down a little bit in terms of how safe they are and how many strings do the exact same thing. I don't think they should all do the exact same thing. I think they should have intended purpose for intended punishes, which means adjusting strings on everyone so that there's a 10 frame punish, there's a 12 frame punish, there's a 14 frame punish. And again, I don't feel like this takes away from what Mortal Kombat is. I mean, unless you're saying what Mortal Kombat is just a spam fest where everything does the same damage and they all have the same purpose. Because if that's what you're saying Mortal Kombat is, then there really isn't any hope, is there? But this is one thing that they could take away from Tekken. There's other things obviously, but I'm going to spread that out across other fighting games. The next episode is going to be on Street Fighter, because there is something probably fairly obvious that Mortal Kombat can take away from Street Fighter. But that's pretty much all I've got for you guys today. It's a short episode, just basically one of the similarities I see between Mortal Kombat and Tekken, and something that Mortal Kombat can learn from. Because as we all know, Tekken is a legacy game, and whilst I give Mortal Kombat the benefit of the doubt because they always bring in new mechanics and they're always trying new creative things, strings are something that, you know, they haven't changed much. They're still, I mean, strings are strings. There's not really much you can do with them. There's not too much you can do with them. So if there's going to be anything legacy in Mortal Kombat, it should be strings, and they should take a page out of Tekken's book because they handle them the best. But anyways guys, thanks for watching. I'll catch you guys later. Peace.